I think when the dust settles and the mystique of the Olympics kind of gets back to normal, you realize what people have gone through with COVID-19. So there's a lot of people at home that has survived COVID-19 and realize it brings lethargic, it brings headaches, it brings nauseousness, it brings fever, it brings all these different ailments to you. And this man went out there and raced against the world, the top athletes in the world, and was able still to get a medal against the world. So to me, hats off to him, man. I mean, he did an amazing job with that.
Could you make an argument that it actually is more impressive than if he had been healthy and gone out there and won the 200 like he usually does?
Valiant effort for sure. I look at that with respect. You know, obviously, if you went out there healthy and still went out there and doubled, everyone would have said, well, we kind of had Noah winning. That's his baby. He's a 200-meter specialist. And we were more surprised of him winning the 100 than we'd be surprised of him winning the 200. But for him to go out there with that illness and still be able to get on that podium, it showed that, yeah, you have to have a lot of respect for somebody who could have just tapped out and said, hey, guys, I wasn't there for that day. I bow out, but he still got to that starting line. And he still was able to get on that podium.
I know it's probably impossible to put yourselves in the shoes of the other guys who are out there. How do you think you would have felt, Justin? I know that's something that a lot of people talked about. Oh, how did the other guys feel about Noah having COVID, and were they concerned about themselves getting sick? How do you think you would have reacted in that situation?
I definitely don't want to downplay COVID. I've had a family member who has passed from COVID as well. I understand the severity and seriousness of it. But at the same time, I think COVID has also evolved into where something that is curable, right? You don't want to put elite athletes in danger, but at the same time, this is an Olympic dream you have, man. This is something, and I think with Noah, it was nothing was going to stop him from getting to that starting line and trying to give his all and his best. So it's kind of like a mixed bag in a way where you're like, do I step away and should he have, or regardless of the situation, am I going to be around the next 4 years to even try to attempt to get a gold medal in this 200? So I think he just struck when the iron was hot and tried to go out there and try to get on that podium once again.
As people know, the Olympics, they come around every 4 years. It's not like a baseball game where you've got 162 games, or an NBA game, you're playing 82 games. I mean, if you miss the 200, we're not talking about this thing happening again in the Olympics until 2028. So, for anybody out there who says, oh, hey, why didn't he just skip this one if he wasn't feeling healthy and get him next time? I mean, just how important are these Olympics? And, some guys don't see two Olympic games.
Well, as an Olympic athlete, you have a small window of being able to accomplish your dreams. This is not like the NBA finals where it happens every year, or the Super Bowl where it happens every year. It's never you'll get him next time. In 4 years, he'll be 34 years old. He'll be at a point where he's starting to look about retirement. He's starting to look about what's next transition in his life. And I've been down that road, so I know what it feels like. Being at the age of 30, you are at your prime. You want to be able to attack now. And a world championship gold medal does not equal to an Olympic gold medal. And he knows that, and he wants to go out there and try to get his Olympic gold medal. You can win 100 world championship medals, but growing up as a kid who's running fast and beating everybody, your dream is to become an Olympic gold medalist. You want to be the world's fastest man, respectively. And that's what it is.
Yeah, and obviously, people aren't familiar out there. Justin has won both a whole bunch of world championships and again a gold medal in Athens. I know you were in Paris, Justin. Noah has to drop out of the 4x100, and then the guys go out there, and it was a rough handoff, between the first and second leg. What did you see when you watched the 4x100? And do you regret coming home? Maybe you could have stepped in there.
You know what? I think I'm still in pretty good shape. You know what I mean? If you need to tag me in, I was ready to go. But I was shocked. Why I was shocked is because there was nothing for them to worry about. And no, not disrespecting any other country, but the fact of in my era, we had guys that were either better than us or either equal to us. I'm running against Team Jamaica, who has a 9'5" Usain Bolt, a 9'6" Johan Blick, a 9'7" Asafa Powell, a 9'8" Nesta Carter. You know what I'm saying? A 9'9" Michael Frater. So you have a little bit of pressure and anxiety to say, okay, I got to get the stick clean, but also I got to make sure I'm going 100 miles per hour to make sure I get the pass off correctly in a good manner. I think today, the time they ran in the prelims would have won the finals. All they needed to do was make sure their exchanges were clean. Each respectable runner in there, they had no one that could beat them at their leg. Just get the stick around, finish the race off great. And I still scratch my head on the fact of why change the order so drastically? If you had a great order that was able to run 37-47 in the prelims, just plug and play your anchor leg. Noah's sick, he's out. Put in somebody for your anchor and just keep that synergy going. That's all you need to do.
Does it actually have a big effect, Justin, if you say you get moved from the second leg to the fourth leg? I mean, you're still taking a handoff from somebody. Is that a big change in your mind mentally as you run the race?
Absolutely, man. I mean, you have to, at practice for relays, you're gauging the incoming runner's speed. So you're realizing how fast they are, but you're also realizing how they're topping out at their speed. You don't want to leave early. You want to get that sweet spot to where, okay, I can make sure I'm still getting to my top end speed, but I'm not leaving the incoming runner. And I think that's what happened today. It's the fact of Kenny Beneri got out, he left the incoming runner, and he's probably used to running with Courtney Lindsay, who is his teammate. And he ran with him earlier this year at the World Relays. Courtney's known to be a 100-meter and a 200-meter runner. So his top end speed is held a little bit longer than our first leg that we had already out there. So it probably was a lapse of judgment on his part, thinking that I can give that same energy for this guy coming in, and it didn't go that way.
How big of a disappointment is this in the running community, Justin?
Huge. But I think that we as track and field athletes don't realize the world is watching us at this magnitude. We're America. America cares about team. You got football teams, you got baseball teams, you got basketball teams. You could be a Laker fan. You could be a Kansas City Chief fan. You could be a Yankees fan. But if you're American and when the Olympics is around, you're watching the Olympics. You're cheering with pride to make sure Team USA gets on top of that podium. I didn't realize that when I was running. And now with social media, you realize like the world is literally watching you go out there and compete for your dream. And I think for us, we need to start creating that pride, that narrative of we need to get the job done. We need to seal the deal. Right now, there's no one out there who can run with us. So we need to make sure we get to stick around and finish the race strong.
You know, you were, and I'll get you out of here on this one, but you were a part of some of the biggest races. I mean, when you and Usain were battling, and it seems like track is in a really good place right now. Noah's become a big star. What do you make of the state of track and field right now? Are you pleased where it's at? What do you think?
I think it's a change in the guards right now. You have the old guard, which is I'm a part of, where you have a lot of guys who ran consistently fast, 9.7s, 9.8s, 9.6s, and Usain Bolt leading the way in that. And we created a lot of excitement. We created a lot of intense moments. With the change in the guards, these young guys are still establishing themselves. Each year is a different winner. You know, from 2022, you had Fred Curley, who was the 100-meter champion in the Worlds. Then Noah Lyles was a 100-meter champion in the Worlds. And then coming back around, he backed it up. So now we're looking for that dominant sprinter from the 1 and the 2 to show who he is so we can say, okay, that's that guy. So it's exciting, but it's also frustrating for a lot of situations. It's exciting because you can grab your popcorn and say, I'm betting on this guy. I don't know if he's going to get it done, but I want to see him get it done. And he might get it done. But now it's that time where we take our time, we be patient, and we watch these athletes grow and to mature into the dominant sprinters that they know we can be.
Noah Lyles now, is he at a point where you say he is reliably the fastest guy in the world when it comes to the 100-meter race, or is he always going to be neck and neck with other runners around the world? And you still say, the race for Noah is the 200-meter, and he's one of the best, not necessarily the best at the 100-meter.
Did you doubt Babe Ruth when he pointed to the fence when he was going for a home run? No, you didn't. When the Great Bambino said it's going to be a home run, it became a home run. Listen, Noah Lyles said, I'm going to be 3-time world champion in 2023, the 100, the 200, and 4x1. He did it. He said, I'm going to break the American record. He went out there in 1931 and broke the American record by Michael Johnson. He did it. He said, I'm going to become the fastest man in the world at the 100 meters at this year's Olympics. He did it. So how do you bet against somebody who already speaks it into existence and then he delivers? So my bet is on Noah who's a real showman, but he backs up what he says. He talks the talk, he walks the walk. I think for him, once he gets back healthy, you're going to see a lot of progression on his side, and he's going to be that guy who's going to be swinging to the fences.